Nitrogen deficiencies and toxicities. This video will talk about nitrogen deficiencies, nitrogen toxicities, environmental and cultural conditions. Nitrogen is required in a plant from 1 to 6% depending on the plant type. The fertilizers that can be used include anything that is based on ammonium, nitrate, urea, and many manures. Once nitrogen is in the plant, it is very mobile, and if there are high amounts of ammonium present, it can reduce potassium, calcium, and magnesium uptake. If nitrate is the predominant nitrogen source, and if it's present in high enough concentrations, it can also reduce phosphorus and sulfur uptake. So what are nitrogen deficiencies and how do they look in the plant? The oldest leaves will turn yellow. This will be uniform yellowing. As these leaves are used up for nitrogen reserves, the next set of oldest leaves will start to turn yellow as that nitrogen is remobilized and directed towards the newest growth of the plant. These leaves will fall off and the next set of leaves will progressively turn yellow until the deficiency symptoms are corrected. Also, over time, stunting of the whole plant can occur because there is insufficient nitrogen present even in the oldest leaves to promote growth. Now, how are deficiency symptoms corrected? Firstly, you could fertilize. If you are not fertilizing, then adding nitrogen with fertilization is definitely needed. If you are injecting fertilizer into the irrigation system, make sure your stock tanks are full and that the fertilizer is properly mixed in the stock tank. Check that the injectors are operating properly. Also, check your water source. If the water is too cold, oftentimes fertilizer mixing does not occur correctly because the fertilizer precipitated out. Also check water quality parameters such as salinity and pH. Check your rooting medium to make sure that you have a high carbon to nitrogen ratio. What this means is that nitrogen is being used by microorganisms to break down carbon sources in the media, and this can cause nitrogen deficiency for the plant. Nitrogen toxicities. Toxicity can occur if there is too much nitrogen in the system. This will result in succulent growth, a lot of vegetative growth, and reduced fruiting and flowering. Necrosis, burning of the foliage, can even occur if there is a lot of fertilizer in the system. Toxicity can also occur if ammonium is the predominant nitrogen form and can cause necrosis of the oldest leaves. This can occur especially in soils that have a pH below 4.5, which is very unusual, but can happen when other problems associated with acidification occur in the media. Environmental and cultural conditions. There are different environmental scenarios that can also cause nitrogen deficiency symptoms either because of your soil or because of root growth. Cold soils often will have root systems that are not actively growing, so nitrogen uptake cannot occur. Overly wet soils can also hinder root growth, and the uptake of nitrogen, as well as other nutrients, will not occur. As mentioned earlier, a high carbon to nitrogen ratio can be a problem. Even though they have a high carbon ratio, other products such as bark and peat don't break down as readily, so they are not a problem. Check for leaching in soils. If you are a container producer, over-irrigating can leach nutrients away from the root zone before the plants can take them up, and this can cause deficiency of nitrogen as well as other nutrients. Also, flooded soils can cause a problem, primarily because of the anaerobic conditions not allowing for proper root growth in the plant. This is what we learned in this module.